There's a noble tradition in the ministry going back to the 17th century. One or two Sundays before an election, almost every preacher in the land devoted his sermon to the body politic. It's a great literary genre. Often the brimstone was so hot that an election day sermon was the one sermon the minister might be remembered by. There was a reason for that. No words were minced. He entered the pulpit, and for the next 2 hours proclaimed a Jeremiah, as in Jeremiah, the great Hebrew prophet. Here's how it went. The world has gone or is about to go to hell. And the reason is simple. God is punishing you for your sins. Whatever is wrong in this world is wrong because you are wrong-headed, wrong-hearted, inattentive to God's commandments, and God is watching, and God is angry. And if you keep on messing up, you will burn forever. At least they burn for 2 long hours. Nonetheless, by the end of the pastor's Jeremiah, almost everyone who listened did in fact feel at least partially responsible for everything that was going wrong in the world. No more throw the bums out. The bums were us. In passing judgment, the early Puritan preachers and their demands for moral perfection too often forgot the importance of forgiveness, of loving kindness, of self-acceptance, of honest doubts. But they did remind us that despite our failings, we are accountable. They didn't let us pass the buck while complaining that someone else was diminishing its value. I won't give you 2 hours worth of sermon, and I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. I'm not even going to tell you that everything wrong in the world, in this country, is your fault or the result of God's responsive wrath. I will say, with this nation mired in 2 seemingly endless wars and the economy in meltdown, that this is the most important presidential election since 1932. Add the almost unimaginable, world-inspiring presence of an African American on the verge of being elected President of the United States, and the election takes on an historic quality unparalleled in modern memory. With the world on a precipice and our economy in ruins, we will be casting the most critical vote of our lifetime. In casting this vote, one question should rest foremost in our minds. Which of the 2 candidates is most likely to spend his first 100 days imitating Franklin Delano Roosevelt? I am partisan in this race. I favor one candidate above the other for a host of reasons. But I remain unsure once the dirt is swept from the campaign floor and half the wistful promises are forgotten. Which of these 2 candidates is temperamentally more suited to move from the nasty business of being elected president to fulfill the solemn oath he will take to serve all the American people at our time of need? There wasn't a hint of FDR's first 100 days in his generic, quite negative campaign for president, during which he stressed the importance of balancing the federal budget. But then, almost overnight, with the prompt action of a willing Congress, he corrected the nation's course and charted a new future for America. Only George Washington and Abraham Lincoln faced as great a challenge. The former met it by making the founders' dreams come true. The latter, over 4 long years, by ending slavery. Our next president will face a challenge less great, perhaps, than these, but greater than any we have faced in recent decades. He must rise to the occasion, and we must rise with him. If he fails to rise, it is our responsibility to present not a partisan, but a patriotic demand that he and the Congress put aside their base-pleasing talking points and act on behalf of all the American people. First, by making the hard decisions that will right our economy. And second, by conducting our foreign policy in a way that will make our nation and our allies once again proud of America at its best. That said, in the spirit, if not the letter, of our Puritan forebears, let me expand my compass to include a religious charge. Both the candidates for office are flawed men. I accept that. I want a flawed person in the White House, but one who knows that he or she is flawed. The reason is simple. The president will be less dangerous. Certitude, moral and otherwise, is blind. For 8 long years, we have witnessed the ravages of moral certitude and blind, inflexible leadership. We can't afford, and the world can't afford, any more of the same.